All right, welcome to This Explainer. Today, we're trying something a little different, something a bit more immersive. We're going to strip away the human experience entirely, quiet down all that noise of the modern world, and drop you straight into one of the most unforgiving yet absolutely breathtaking environments on Earth. We are looking at the complete, unfiltered life journey of the apex predator of the high altitudes. We're going to trace the narrative of the ghost of the peaks, and we'll explore what it truly takes to survive when you are the mountain lion. Close your eyes for just a second. Imagine the absolute chill of the mountain air. You are born in darkness, surrounded by cold stone and the warm heartbeat of your mother. You don't start your life as this fierce, untouchable apex predator. You actually begin completely blind. You're a tiny, totally helpless cub hidden deep inside a rocky den. The air around you smells like damp earth, and there's this chilling draft coming from the high mountains. But right now, your entire universe is literally just the sound of your mother's heartbeat and that desperate primal instinct to just stay close to her warmth. Okay, let's dive into this. Part 1. Born into the shadows, the first days. So there's this really stark contrast in your immediate reality. On one hand, you've got your existence inside the den. Warmth, your mother's fierce protection, the comforting cover of darkness. It feels safe, right? But it's actually an incredibly fragile, fleeting kind of sanctuary. Because right outside that narrow rocky opening is the vast, unforgiving wilderness. We're talking freezing mountain winds, a landscape where absolute uncertainty rules the day, and hungry predators who would look at a helpless cub as nothing more than an easy meal. The contrast here is just wild. It really illustrates the terrifying precipice you live on from day one. The whole crux of your early existence is absolute, total vulnerability. You're this weak, tiny cub, completely reliant on your mother. I mean, if she doesn't return from a hunt, you simply don't survive. Period. The hunger pangs you feel in these early days are sharp, they're visceral, echoing in your small ribs. Every single strange shadow on the cave wall or howling wind outside the den sends this massive spike of raw fear right through you. You are practically tethered to her success, her strength, and her survival. Moving on to Part 2. Lessons of the Wild. Childhood. Now your real foundational curriculum in the wild begins. You're learning to survive by doing. It starts with climbing these jagged rocks, your oversized paws desperately testing the stone for grip. You're balancing on extremely steep cliffs where, frankly, a single misstep means a fatal fall. But mostly you're observing. You watch your mother hunt. You see exactly how she lowers her body, how she uses the soft, earthy colors of the brush for camouflage. And mixed in with these playful, tumbling pounces on your siblings are some really harsh, critical lessons. You're sharpening your wild instincts, and with every passing week, the tension builds. Because pretty soon, you won't have her to rely on. You are going to have to become the hunter. And that crucial turning point is mastering the hunt through the mechanics of the ambush. Step 1, the silent stalk. You learn to place your paws so precisely where there are no dry twigs, moving literally like a ghost through the misty morning forest. Step 2, the coiled wait. Every single muscle in your body tenses up. Your eyes are locked on a grazing deer, your breathing gets incredibly shallow, and you're just waiting for the absolute perfect microsecond. And then Step 3, the leap. Explosive, sudden, and devastatingly precise. This is how you survive. The stealth, the patience, the sheer explosive power, this is the absolute signature of your species. But it's not all glorious hunting. Part 3. The brutal reality, danger and struggle. Every single day out there, you must endure this relentless, compounding gauntlet of threats. We're talking endless hunger and devastating food shortages, bitter, blinding winter storms that just completely freeze the landscape and drive all your prey away, terrifying encounters with stronger predators, bears or wolf packs where you are vastly outnumbered, vicious, heavily scarring battles with rival mountain lions just over a tiny stretch of rocky territory. And of course, the ever-looming, dangerous threat of human encroachment shrinking your world. It is a suffocating weight. You don't just face one of these things occasionally, you face them all constantly. Which brings us to this incredibly harsh truth. Every single mistake can mean starvation. A slightly twisted ankle from a bad leap off a cliff, a miscalculated strike that lets an elk escape into the woods. In this dangerous, totally lonely wilderness, there's no safety net. No one is going to bring you food while you heal from an injury. The pressure is just immense. Those lonely, silent nights spent nursing a wound, feeling the gnawing ache of an empty stomach, that is the painful, unglamorous reality of the wild. You survive entirely on a razor's edge. But let's say you make it. Part 4, Master of the Mountains, Adulthood. You now have absolute,
undisputed command of your environment. You are no longer that frightened little cud shivering in the dark. No way. You are leaping across 100-foot drops between cliffs with this effortless, almost unbelievable grace. You are a phantom stalking deer through dense, moonlit forests, your golden coat blending perfectly with the setting sun. You're fiercely and successfully defending your hard-won territory. You have totally mastered stealth, navigation, and raw power across these rugged mountains. You are the undisputed ruler of your domain.
But hey, being the ruler comes with some pretty heavy burdens. These are your adult responsibilities. Surviving extreme weather, that's just the baseline now. You've got to navigate the complex, dangerous task of finding a mate. And then, the whole cycle repeats itself, but this time, you're the protector. Protecting your own tiny cubs from the exact same dangers you once faced. You will fight with this terrifying, fierce parental instinct to keep them alive, all while expertly avoiding the increasingly loud, dangerous presence of humans. Your life becomes this constant, super high-stakes balancing act of preservation and propagation.
Which brings us eventually to part 5, the final sunset, old age and natural ending.
Let's just look back across the complete map of your existence for a second. From the vulnerable cub trembling in that dark den to the juvenile fiercely learning the hunt. Then those glorious years as the apex predator, completely mastering the territory. And finally, the elder stage, where your strength inevitably begins to fade. As you look at these stages, imagine the memories of 100 past mountains, the echoes of countless hunts and brutal winters, just flashing before your aging eyes. It has been a magnificent, brutal, beautiful journey. But the wild, well, it offers absolutely no peaceful retirement. Slower and weaker, you're going to face hunger alone one last time. Your leaps are a little bit shorter now. Your stealth isn't quite what it used to be. The deer, they escape your grasp more often than not. It is a profoundly emotional, completely natural ending out there in the wilderness. There's a deep, solemn dignity in the solitary final struggle. You return to the quiet shadows of the mountains that literally forged you, facing the reality of nature and completing the grand, unbroken circle of life. So, what does this all mean? It leaves us with a final, provocative thought to chew on. Will your legacy survive the brutal cycle of the wild long after the ghost of the peaks has faded into the shadows? Did your cubs learn the crucial lessons of the jagged rocks and the silent stalk? Your individual journey may end, but the spirit of the predator endures through the generations you leave behind. Thank you so much for joining me for this explainer. Keep exploring, keep questioning, and I will see you next time.